In my previous video, I talk about how I didn't listen sometimes to the divine when I heard a no. I want to here explain to you guys just the process of trusting the divine. This is for those, whether or not you're on the twin flame journey, this might be helpful. But it's especially those on the twin flame journey. When I was still very much so in chasing energy, I didn't know how to interpret so deeply the language of the divine. The divine doesn't speak to us the way I'm literally speaking to you right now. It's not like clear, it's not like it's not like this, right? It's a different kind of language. Some people might interpret the divine's language through seeing, through hearing, through feeling, through frequencies, through images, through many different forms. Sometimes you might feel your heart expanding. It's different for everybody. A really big part of the reason why I didn't listen to those no's was I didn't know yet that it was a no, right? And so the divine has a lot of compassion for us. Then there were times where I knew that it was a no, but I still did it anyways. And let me give you an example. Well, the chasing thing, right? I would genuinely just hear like, no, don't reach out, don't chase, just receive the love, just wait, just trust me. I didn't listen because I thought that I could still control things at this point on my journey. I thought that love would not reach me and it would slip away if it wasn't in my hands. So what I did when I heard that no was reach out, text, call, chase, all of the things. Again, the divine has compassion because the divine knew in those moments that I was still learning that the divine knows what's best. The no's that I didn't listen to left me hurt, disappointed, and circling back to that exact same lesson again. After I did what I did, a couple months later, a couple weeks later, I found myself asking the same thing. Hey, should I reach out? Nope. It was a no. I have now learned not to ignore those no's because when I did listen to those no's, I actually did see a lot of progress in my connection. I was randomly bumping into my twin flame more. The energy between us opened up a lot more. Literally just one time of me listening to that no opened up like a whole new world for us. Now here is a third example of why I never listened to those no's. Because I thought that no meant that that's the end. You know, this is an ending. This is something that you cannot have, and period, end of sentence type of thing. Before I published my ebook, I had written it in a couple of hours. And I was excited and I was like, divine, like, is it ready? When I heard no, the ebook is not ready to be published, I was like, oh, well, how come? And what I essentially heard was, you're gonna read it back if you publish it now, and you're really gonna wish that you had said more. Essentially, it was like a no was a redirection because the divine knew that I would be much happier with what I put out if I had taken more time to review it. And that's 100% true. What I've learned is that those no's don't mean that's the end. You can't have this period end a sentence. I said what I said, peace. The no is actually just a redirection. And what I heard after no, when I asked why, was very comforting for me. If you're on this twin flame journey, a really big part about it is surrendering to the divine. And I just wanted to let everyone know that the divine is always going to bring a comfort, whether it's a yes or it's a no. And I know the no's aren't always comfortable, but trust me and see for yourself, the divine is always trying to do what's best for us.